You know, it's really important that we watch our conversations, that we watch the things that we say to other people, but also, more importantly, maybe even is the conversations we have with ourselves. To stop and to think about what are the conversations or the ruminations of my heart when I'm thinking about the conversations I've just had with somebody or the things that have just happened. We've looked at Cain and Abel, and, we've looked at, the fact that Cain was offended and he was jealous and he was angry that his brother Abel had given God an offering that was accepted, but his was not. And I think, when we look at that, we can go, that would never be me. But the reality is, it often is. Let's be honest, we all struggle with jealousy and competition from time to time. We want to, be seen. We want to be heard. We want to be acknowledged. We want to be recognized. We want that the work that we've done with our hands or in the spirit, we want it to be seen as valid by God, especially, but just even among our peers. And so this is the place we find ourselves in Genesis chapter 4, verse 8. And the verse reads in the Amplified, it says, Cain talked with Abel, his brother, about what God had said. And when they were alone and working in the field, Cain attacked Abel, his brother, and killed him. I'm not sure what the discussion was that they had, and I'm not really sure it was a discussion really at all. But I'm pretty sure it was a heated exchange on Cain's part. I'm pretty sure that Cain was coming at his brother Abel and he was attacking him verbally before he ever attacked him physically. And why do I say that? Because it's hard to hide offense. It's hard to hide jealousy. It's hard to hide that kind of anger. And the reality is, in our life, when we have that and we talk to somebody else, it drips out. It sounds snarky and bitter and rude. It can sound and feel a certain way. You could even say, well, did I do something? What's going on here? To which the response is usually, no, you're fine. And I'm fine. And you'll hear this word, this unspoken attitude behind what's being said. And like I said, those unspoken conversations, those ones we have in our head when we leave an event or when we've been offended or when we're jealous, those unspoken things that we think about, those are the things that causes problems. It's those things that don't usually shut down the anger or the offense or the jealousy, but rather they stir it up and they cause it to fan into flame. And it causes us to become more angry, more jealous, more offended, more wanting to speak our mind and tell them how we really feel. Cain wasn't listening to God. God had said, turn away from that thing. You master it. I'm giving you the option. And that's the same option we have today. Turn away from it. Don't let it master you. But instead, what Cain did is he thought about it. And he thought about it to the point where it got control of him, where it escalated him to the point of murder. Now, I'm pretty sure when he first started to think about it, his heart was not there. His heart was probably just at a place where I'm just going to tell him off. I'm going to tell him what I think. I'm going to say this. It wasn't right. It wasn't fair. What did he do that was so much better than what I did? Is probably that part of a conversation. But the thing is, our thoughts are vivid. Like Cain's, when we sit in something, and we rehearse those conversations in our mind, and we rehearse those wounds, and we feed that offense, and we feed that jealousy, it causes us to lash out. And you know what? Maybe he wasn't thinking about killing his brother, but he was thinking about the premeditation of his heart was to harm him. And if that harm was going to happen verbally, he was okay with that. If the harm was going to happen with a fight in the field, he was probably okay with that. The reality is, God says the same thing to us today. When we find ourselves offended, and when we find ourselves jealous or angry, the same thing that was spoken to Cain is the same thing that God is saying to us today. Master that thing. Control it. Turn away from it. Give it to me. Surrender it to me. And you're going to overcome this thing. Because if you don't, that thing will rage inside of you until there is something that happens. And it might not be the physical murder of somebody, But I've seen a lot of reputations be murdered. I've seen a lot of ministries get hits. I've seen a lot of individuals who've had a lot of gossip spoken about them and hurtful, harmful stuff, myself included. And so, yeah, let's be aware and be cautious when we think about what we're thinking about. Give it to God. Surrender it to God. Don't let that sin overtake you and overpower you. Don't let that demon in to take over your life. Give it to God. Master it. Surrender it to God. You have yourself a great day. You're called, anointed, chosen. Turn away from the things that the enemy wants to trip you up with, and you have yourself a great day.